Jeremiah, we live. Tell the people, say what's happening.
Hey.
Say hello, everybody.
Hello.
Tell everybody welcome.
Welcome.
They're about to learn how to get some haircut skills. Tell everybody, look in the camera, tell everybody, share the video.
Share the video on the share button. Welcome to LP Live. LP Live calls on live, teaching you how to have some haircut skills. Now I'm gonna be waiting. I'm gonna tell you a couple jokes, and then when he's back, he'll show you how to be a master at cutting.
Did you welcome everybody?
Yes.
Did you tell everybody that they about to learn how to get the fires haircuts ever?
Yes.
Let them know again. Tell them again.
You will get the flies haircut.
They're gonna learn how to get the flies haircuts.
Okay.
All right. Once we get a few more people to tune in, like I said, I want to encourage everybody. Please share the video as you log in. Please share the video, and please don't be afraid to leave a tip in the tip jar. We're gonna get started in about another minute. Thank you for sharing the video. Please share the video. Please share the video. About to get some great tips on how to cut some dope fades. Thank you so very much, Tiffany, for sharing the video. Thank you so very much. Please share the video. Once I get 25 viewers, I will go ahead and get started. I got 22, 23.
You're acting like
As you come in, please share the video. Please share the video. All right, 23 viewers. Once we get at 25, I'm gonna go ahead and get started.
Dad, I told them what we're about to do.
All right. Oh, so the viewers are going down. So y'all don't want to get this information. They don't want to get the information. Once I get at 25 viewers, I'm gonna go ahead and get started.
If y'all ain't
Ask everybody, please share the video.
please share that video. If you ain't gonna share the video, then you don't wanna see. All you had to do is share the video.
That's it. Tell them again. Tell them again.
All you got to do is share the video.
It's all good. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Thank you so very much, everybody, for tuning in. My name is LP, and I'm gonna be sharing some haircut tips. There's a lot of people that are in situations, unfortunately, because of the COVID-19 situation, our barbershops are being shut down. And there's a lot of people that are walking around, their children look like Cousin It, they look like Cousin It. And so they're having to...
Who's Cousin It?
Cousin It is actually somebody that's on an old TV show from years ago, and they had hair all over their body. You couldn't even see them, they had hair all over their face and their body. So I'll show them to you on YouTube. But anyway, so a lot of people are struggling, and I made a commitment that I would assist people and help them on the methodology of cutting hair. I'm gonna show you what you need to do in order to get by. I'm gonna show you how to cut your own hair, fellas. I'm gonna show you how to deal with your beard. So it's gonna be a lot going on in this video. So I'm gonna cut my son's hair. I'm gonna cut I'm probably gonna cut all my children's hair, but I'm gonna walk you through the steps.
Literally all their hair.
Yeah, all their hair. So I'm gonna walk you through the steps, and I'm gonna show you what needs to be done.
Like all of their hair.
So we're gonna go ahead and drape him. You ready to get fresh?
Yes.
Alright. I'm gonna show you the
First,
something real quick. I'm not gonna cut any hair off of his head with the first thing that I'm gonna show you how to do. First thing I'm gonna show you how to do. Hold on, let me see who we got tuned in, son. Before we go ahead and start, because there's a lot of people that, you know what I'm saying, they wanted me to okay. Can y'all tag a couple more people in this video? Tag a couple more people in this video so we can go ahead and get started.
Is that mom's phone?
This is my phone, it's not her phone.
Then who's that phone?
That's my phone.
Your old phone?
No, this is my old one. Alright.
Why is it so difficult?
Okay, here we go. So
First
you want to
step.
disinfect your clippers. You know what I'm saying? Any kind of disinfectant spray. This right here is Cool Care. I like to use this because it, you know, sometimes your clippers get hot, and what it do, it cools your clippers down as well as lubricates your clippers.
Oh yeah, that's
So you want to make sure your clippers are lubricated so that they can function properly.
It's like anti-tizer.
You know what I'm saying? So,
It's kind of like anti-tizer.
tell y'all a funny story about this Cool Care and just regular Ulster disinfectant spray. I tell people this story all the time. It's real funny because when I first started cutting hair and going to the barbershop, and I would see that this and a few other things was what they were using, and not only did I use the disinfectant spray to disinfect my clippers, but I would also spray disinfectant spray on a towel after I cut their hair, and I would dab the edge of with the disinfectant spray. That was during the 90s, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know no better, you know what I'm saying? But
So that's why it always burns?
I said I used to do this in the 90s. In the 90s, you were not even thought about, son. Okay? All right. So, for some of you, see, my son, he has a very low haircut. But those of you that you have children that may have a lot more hair on their head, like a wavelength haircut, what you would do is you would get your first guard, your comb guard, however you want to put it, and you would put it on, and you would cut either one or two ways. Now, if you don't want to cut off that much hair, you're gonna go with the grain. Everybody say with the grain. Okay? Now, type that in on the comment section. Say with the grain. All right? So we're cutting with the grain. You got your guard, your comb attachment. You're gonna go with the grain. So that means if the grain of hair is going this way, and you gotta be careful because you got some people that have cowlicks in the front. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful with that. But if there's no cowlicks and the hair lays straight down and goes, you're gonna cut with the grain. If you're gonna do a wave cut, just a regular wave cut, you cut it down to the waves. You're gonna go with the grain like this. You see, back here, you see you got a swirl. You got the swirl right in here. So what you would do is you observe the swirl and you see the direction the grain of hair goes into, and you would cut with the grain in the swirl. So you make sure you got that done. So you would cut it With the grain. Everybody say with the grain.
With the grain.
You cut with the grain, with the grain, with the grain, with the grain. All the way around. All the way around. All the way around. You cutting with the grain. With the grain, with the grain, with the grain. And you keep cutting with the grain, and you observe the hair, and you make sure it's all the same length. While you're cutting with the grain, make sure it's all the same length all the way around. You don't want it to be patchy, anything like that. Some of y'all, you got your kids, you know what I'm saying, wear a temp fade, is what we call a temp fade. You will start your temp fade off just like this, cutting with the grain all the way around. With the grain, with the grain, with the grain. Not against the grain, with the grain. Alright? So, once you got that done right there, then you will start your fading process. And I'm going to show you the fading process. I'm going to actually do a temp fade right here. But the process that I go through with the temp fade, if you want to fade all the way around, you will use this same process that I'm about to show you. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it a little better. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Drop it down some more so you can. All right. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so you can see the process that I'm going to go through. As far as with, like I said, you're going to go against the grain all the way around. And see this little part right here. For those of you that's just tuning in, I'm about to show you the process of doing the fade in a temp fade, all right? In the same process that you will go through in a temp fade, you will go through it in a fade all the way around, all right? So, first thing first, you're going to take your comb attachment. Listen. All right, you're going to take your comb attachment off. You want to have a brush with you. So, I'm going to show you the same process that the brother showed me. It's a brother by the name of Ben Butler. He actually showed me the correct process of making a fade. And just to give it to you in quick, making a fade is all about making a line and taking the line out. You make a line and you take the line out, okay? So we're gonna start it off. You're gonna start the fade off with it all the way in. The clippers all the way. See how you got your adjustable? How it goes up, down. So you're gonna bring it all the way down or in, and you're gonna make your first line like that. All right, so you're gonna brush it down. You make your first line. All right, so you're gonna make your first line, and once you've made that first line, you brush it back in place. You're gonna raise your blade up slightly a little bit more, and you're gonna take that line out. And in the process of you taking that line out, you're going to make what? Another line. You're gonna make another line. Son, I need you to be really still, okay? Son, I need you to be real still, okay? Alright. See, I made another line. And we're going to raise our blade up slightly, a little bit more. And we're going to take that line out. In the process of taking that line out, it's going to do what? Make another line. And as you make a line and take that line out, what you're doing is you're slowly but surely developing what we call a fade. So where we're making a line and we're taking a line out, all right? We're going to raise the blade up a little bit more. And we're going to take that line out. And in the process of taking that line out, what are we doing? Say it with me. We're making another line. All right? So as you can see, our fade is developing. All right? Raise the blade all the way up as high as it can go. Now, I'm taking this line out, but I want you to understand where when you have the clippers laying flat on the scalp like this, you're gonna cut more hair, okay? When you got it flat on the scalp, you're cutting more hair. But when you got it, when you're raising it up like this, you're gonna cut less hair. And you're kind of doing it like in a raking motion. All right?
Does that mean slow motion?
So as you can see,
Yeah, that means
we have created our fade. All right? We've created our temp fade. All right? So that's the temp on that side. All right? So this haircut, for the most part, you're gonna see this on more of a darker, you know what I'm saying, cut. So it's not gonna be as low. Now there's a lot of people that wear temp fades while the hair is low. But I'm just showing you that process. Now I'm gonna do the back, turn around a little bit. All right. Hold your head down. All right. So we're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna do that first line. Hold your head right there. We're gonna do that first line. And he got a whole bunch of collars back here in the back. But we're gonna fight through that. Because this is not usually the way he gets his haircut. He gets a skin fade with his skin on the side. But I believe that the skin fade will be a little too complex for a lot of people. So I'm not gonna attempt to show you how to do the skin fade because you probably don't have all of the tools in order to do a skin fade. But the process is still the same, but you would just cut it to the scalp, all the way to the scalp. So, let me make sure I can see what I'm doing. All right, yeah, you still see me. So we're gonna have, with our brush, remember we're using our brush to keep brushing it back in place. Because when we cut the hair, it's like we're disrupting the natural flow. We're going against the grain. And remember I showed you, when you go with the grain, you cut less hair. When you go against the grain, you cut more hair, right? So when that's doing our fade, we're gonna be cutting against the grain, so we're cutting more hair, all right? So we're gonna raise our blade up. That first line that we made, we're gonna take that line out. It's all about lines. In the words of the great Ben Butler that taught me how to cut hair on the Gulf Coast. It's about lines. Making lines, taking them out. Making lines, taking them out. I'm going on all these different directions because, as I told you, he got some collars in the back, so you know what I'm saying, I gotta go against the grain that's in that collar. So I raise the blade up. I'm taking that line out. Taking that line out. All right. Raise the blade. I'll brush it back in place first. See how smooth the fade, how it blends in. You make the line, take it out. As I'm taking this line out, I'm creating another line. All right. Raise the blade up. Take that line out. All right. Now, some of y'all, you got your children. You may be saying to yourself, like, "Look, bro, I really don't want to try to do all that fade stuff. I just need to cut my son's hair, or I need to cut my hair, and I want to cut it down low, and I want to get a good cut." All right. So if we're gonna do that, this we're gonna do. We're gonna raise our blade up to the highest that it can go, right? Then we're gonna go against the grain. Everybody say against the grain.
against the grain.
All right, and with us cutting against the grain, we're gonna cut more hair. But the great thing about cutting against the grain is that you're going to get an even cut. All right, you want to get an even cut where it's not blotchy. It don't have all of those different, you know, look like you got roadblocks in your head. So I'm raising the blade all the way up, all the way out, and I'm cutting against the grain. Cutting against the grain. All right, you're gonna cut it and you're gonna brush it down. If you don't want it this low, put your comb attachment on there. Cut against the grain. I'm gonna keep brushing it down. And I'm gonna show you, for those of you that want to cut your own hair, I'm gonna show you how you can achieve cutting your own hair with having you're gonna get in a mirror and you're gonna hold a mirror in your hand. I'm gonna show you how to do that. I learned how to do that by watching my brother cut his own hair. I can remember we had a little mirror that we hung in our room. It had Miller High Life on it. It had Miller High Life on it, and it was a mirror. You know what I'm saying? My brother would get in the bathroom, and he had a Miller High Life mirror in his hand, cutting his own hair. I'm gonna show you how to do that. I'm gonna show you how to do that, so just stay tuned. Remember, we cutting against the grain. We're gonna get a good even cut. For those of you that got little boys, you know what I'm saying? This is the best method for you. Cut the little boy hair, you know what I'm saying? Cut it against the grain. Alright. So I'm just gonna do one side. I'm not gonna do the whole thing. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do the edge of it. You know what I'm saying? How to show you how to do a good, clean, crisp edge of it. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Let me zoom it back out. All right. Gonna get your trimmer. Then you want your disinfectant. This disinfects and lubricates the blade. All right. With our edge up, what I want you to do, I want you to pay close attention. As you can look at his head right now, you can see where the edge up actually belongs by just looking at it. You know what I'm saying? You can see, oh, right here. You gotta visualize this line right here, and then here, where you have your C cup. So you wanna take that line straight to here, stop it. You wanna put that line right here, and then at the furthest point, right here, you're gonna start your C cup. All right. So, as the big homie Ben Butler on the coast showed me, you know what I'm saying? You look at it in the middle of his head, and you start here, and you go here. So that's what we're gonna do. Start in the middle of his head. Be still. Alright, so once I get it to that point, remember you want to keep it on as far out on the edge as possible. You don't want to push this edge up back too far. Like I said, you can already see that imaginary line to where it should go. You go to that point and you stop. Now you turn your clippers like this. Now, I want you to keep close in mind, I'm gonna turn it off. I don't want you to slide onto it and then come back. Slide onto it and come back. What you wanna do is, you wanna poke it right there and then come that way. Poke it and then come that way. Poke it and then come that way. Don't slide into it, because when you slide into it like that, what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut a big old line, a big old gash in there. It's gonna stab it. It's gonna make some slice wounds. So you wanna poke it and pull it that way. Poke it and pull it that way. All right, I'm gonna show you. So now we'll crank them back up. I don't know if my arm is in the way, but poke it, slide it that way. 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 Alright, so once we made that line, we're going to make what's called a C cup. So you're going to start at that farthest point right there. You're going to tap it, tap it, tap it, slide it on down. Tap it, slide it on down. And then you're going to take the point, not the whole flat across, just the point. And you're going to use that as like an ink pen. So when you're going to draw what you're trying to do, you're going to draw it on there. Baby, you gotta sit still, son. You gotta sit still. Slide it on down. Tap it, tap it, tap it, slide it on down. Slide it on down. Alright. And then you're going to turn it to the back. And you're just going to tap it, slide it on down. This one I'm showing you, I'm not showing you nothing hard, extremely hard. I'm not going through the complexity of cutting a skin fade or anything like that, because whether you know it or not, the skin fade is probably one of the hardest fades to do. Alright? And you're going to get behind the ear. So you're going to hold that ear down, and you're going to take this part of the trimmer, and you're going to draw this line right there. You're going to draw it with this edge, this part of the edge, alright? Be careful, because you don't want to put that line, you don't want to jack that line up way where it looks like he got a big old gap. You know what I'm saying? You let it go. You see how? So you see how we got that line back here? Real easy. Alright, simple as that. You see it? And then you want to come behind it. You're going to get your clipper. Make sure you clean it up. Remember, put your blade all the way out. You're going to go against the grain. Just clean it up. Any hair that you may have missed. And like I said, this is the easiest thing to do. You got little boys, you know what I'm saying? This cut that I'm showing you, where you just cutting against the grain, taking the blade all the way out, cutting against the grain. You know what I'm saying? As they call it, that's that little boy haircut. You know what I'm saying? Give him that little boy haircut. For those of you that's just tuning in, I'll go over the first thing that I was speaking of, where usually if you got teenage boys, they like their hair cut down to the waves. And so, you know what I'm saying, in order to do that, you get your comb attachment. Your guide on there is 1/8 of an inch. You put your comb attachment on there, and you see how you got your adjustable. This is all the way out. This is all the way in. All right. So putting it all the way in, you will cut with the grain. Remember, as I said, when you cut with the grain, you're cutting off less hair. Okay? So you cut with the grain, with the grain, with the grain, with the grain, with the grain. Alright? And you will cut all the way around with the grain. And right here where they have your swirl, you brush the hair and you observe the direction. See how it goes like this, 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 this. So you will cut in that same direction. In that swirl. Now, if you want to cut this same length of what I was showing you would do when you was cutting it down to the waves, you can do the same exact thing. You'll get a bigger comb attachment, and you, son, come on man, chill out. You will get a bigger comb attachment, and you will put on your clippers, and the way I showed you going against the grain, if you're going to cut like a wave cut, and remember, just because you cut against the grain, you're not going to cut somebody's waves out, all right? I hate when people say, man, don't cut my waves out. If you have a wave pattern, and I put a bigger guide attachment or comb attachment on, and I cut against the grain, it's not going to cut your waves out, okay? It's not going to do it, I promise you, it's not, all right? And so you will put the bigger comb attachment on, and you will cut against the grain. Brush it back down, cut against the grain. Brush it back down. Now for those of you that have children, your children may have longer hair. You may have a more thin but longer hair. Your child may have straight hair. For those of you that have you have mixed children, or you have children with straight hair, all right, you will put a bigger attachment on there, and you will cut against the grain with their hair. Brush it back down. Cut against the grain, brush it back down. Cut against the grain, brush it back down. With a bigger comb attachment. Cut against the grain, cut against the grain, against the grain. Brush it back down. Cut against the grain. Hold it like this. You're gonna cut against the grain. Brush it back in place. It's important that you brush it back in place because you'll see what needs to be evened out. If you hadn't cut enough in a particular part. Alright? You're going to get in that swirl. You're going to cut against the grain of that swirl. You got to focus on that swirl, because if you don't focus on that swirl, you'll mess up something. So you will cut against the grain in that swirl. You see what I'm saying? Cut against the grain. Cut against the grain. Cut against the grain. Brush it back in place. Cut against the grain. For those of you that's saying, okay, I need to cut my own hair, LP, the same applies. You know what I'm saying? You simply, if you're going to cut it with the grain, you'll get up there and you'll like this. Or it's going to make it easier for you to get a more even cut. You don't even have to have a mirror to do this, a second mirror to do this. But if you cut against the grain, you put a big comb attachment on there, and you're going to cut against the grain, against the grain, against the grain, against the grain. Like that. All the way around. Cut against the grain. And then, let me show you this right here. Hold on. Where did I do with my mirror? Okay, here's my mirror right here. Alright. And you look at me. Alright, so what you would do is, you see how I got my mirror? Like the camera that I'm looking into is like a mirror for me, all right? So in order for me, I get in my mirror like this, put my clippers in my right hand, and I can see what I'm doing, like this. I'm going with the grain, or I'm going against the grain. Going against the grain. Get a good even cut. All right. So let me get back to showing you what I was showing you. So I basically showed you the gist of how you can give your son a very nice clean cut by cutting. You know, this is a really low cut right here. I got the blade all the way out, and I'm cutting against the grain. Let me spin you around so that they can see what I'm doing. Come on, turn all the way around.
That's better.
Sit up. That's more. So how am I cutting it, Jeremiah? How am I cutting it? Am I cutting it with the grain or against the grain? No. This is with the grain.
Against the grain.
There we go. And when we cut against the grain, are we cutting off more hair or less hair?
More hair?
There we go. So remember, when you cut against the grain, you're cutting off more hair. But even though you're cutting off more hair, you're giving it a more even cut. Alright? Alright? So he's getting that, what y'all call a little boy cut. So I'm gonna put a little slight temp fade on here, remember,
That's hot.
as I was showing you. Say what now?
That's really hot.
They hot? Okay.
Kind of.
So when the clippers get hot, that's why we need cool care. Alright? Alright, this will cool it down as well as lubricate the blades. Wipe off the excess. Let me get back to it. It's not hot anymore, is it? See? So, back to what I was saying. I'm going to do like the temp fade. Remember, you bring the blade all the way in. See how it's adjusted? Out, in, out, in. So, you start with it in. You're going to make that first line. Brush it down. Raise the blade up slightly. Take that line out. Again, from the words of the great Ben Butler on the Gulf Coast that taught me how to cut a fade. You make a line and you take it out. You make a line, raise your blade up, take that line out. And when you're in the process of taking that line out, you're going to make what? Another line. Alright? You make that line, brush it down, raise your blade up, take that line out. And because his hair is so low, you really can't see the difference. But the difference is indeed there from a perspective of the fade there. Now if he had a whole lot of hair, or now for those of you feel like you're advanced, I can show you the trick on how to make that a little more visible. But you gotta have more tools, you know what I'm saying, in order to do this. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make that first line, I'm gonna bald it out with the trimmers. So I balded that first line out, and And I just took the edge of the trimmer and took that line out. I just took the little point. That line that I made, took that line out. Alright, you can see that line a little better. Alright. So, I'm going to start over. Get it all the way, the blade all the way in. Make that line. Brush it down. Raise your blade up. Take that line out. Brush it back down. Raise your blade up a little bit more. Take that line out. In the process of you taking that line out, you're going to do what? Make another line. After you make that other line, brush it down, raise your blade up, take that line out. Real easy. When it comes to making that fade. Alright. So we're going to do his edge up again. Remember, you start in the middle, and we're going to go that way. So before we actually make the line, we're going to imagine, we're going to look at it, and we're going to imagine, okay, I see that line right there. So that what you see, what you imagine, you go ahead and make that happen. Be still, son. You about to sneeze? All right. Drop it down to the edge, and you're gonna make that C cup. Tap it, slide. Tap it, slide. Make that C cup. The back, brush it down. Real simple, you can do this. Remember that line behind the ear? We're gonna take the point of the trimmer and we're gonna make that line behind the ear. Yeah, I got it, son. You hold it with one finger. There we go. So now you go behind it, clean the edge up a little bit more. Real simple. Now see how you can see the difference is because I use the trimmer to make that first line right here. So you can see the difference in the fade on this side than on this side. Because I didn't use the trimmer on this side, but we finna do that right now. Make that first line with the trimmer. The clipper's laying flat. Brush it back in place. Now we're gonna take the edge of the trimmer and we're gonna knock that line out. And that's it.
And now you're going to get a piece of paper and then take off the paper that you wrap around their neck, and then you get the whole hair.
No. I'm gonna get you some alcohol.
Oh yeah, and then spray it on there and then rub it on the child's neck. I'm not, I think, yeah, neck and head. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right. And that's it. Tell everybody bye. Tell them thank you. Tell them thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in.
You gotta look at the camera and say it, son.
Thank you for tuning in.
For everybody that's just tuning in, I'm actually gonna do another one. I'm gonna go ahead and do another one. I want to ask everybody that's tuning in, tell one of your brothers to come on out. Everybody that's asking, cause I can't do it on your head. All right, so everybody that's tuning in, thank you again for tuning in. I'm just trying to help families out. Thank you so very much for sending that Cash App. I saw one just came in. Everybody, please go to the tip jar to my Cash App. That's money sign LpzCash. That's the letter L, the letter P, the letter Z, CASH. Leave a tip. No doubt, man of God. Thank you so very much for your tip. For anybody else that got some information that can help them, please go into the tip jar and leave a tip. Thank you so very much. Oh, the wrong was happening. Hey, it ain't lean, it ain't clean. They get one of them wavering cuts, you know what I'm talking about? So look, check this out. I got one of my other sons coming in. While we're waiting on them, I'm going to show you something real quick. Show you some quick tips with cutting your own hair. Let's see what we're gonna do. Pull my hat back. You move the bucket, son. All right. So look. What I'm doing is brushing it down like that. You go ahead and move the bucket and sit down. All right. I got it all the way out, and I'm just cutting with the grain. And remember, as I told you, when you cut with the grain, you're cutting less hair. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm doing. You can go all around your head just like this. You know what I'm saying? If you got an even all, if you just want to cut you an even all over, you know what I'm saying? A real neat little even all over. You can cut it just like this. Alright? So my help is here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on him. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Tell everybody hello. Alright, so give me a little water. Again, everybody that's they're in observation and they are learning, if this is helping you, please go to the tip jar and leave a tip. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and drape this young man. Oh! I'm tripping. able to see the temp fade a little bit better on his hair, meaning his hair is a little bit more darker. So we're gonna go ahead and brush it down right here. With your children. Again, I got a couple of people that just tuned in. I know the sister, one of the sisters that tuned in, she's a Caucasian sister, and she has an African American child. So, with African American children. So, when you have biracial children, the children's hair tend to be a lot thinner and straighter. So you will take the same exact precautions, you would use these same methods. The only thing you would use bigger comb attachments, all right? It's the same exact thing, you just using bigger comb attachments. This is when people ask me the question, they say, hey LP, do you cut white people's hair? And you know, that is a crazy statement because hair is hair. It's just when you're cutting white people's hair, you have to use larger comb attachments. That's the only difference. You're gonna use the same process, you're just using larger comb attachments. So we're gonna go ahead and start with his hair. For the most part, we're just gonna I'm gonna do a temp fade on him. But for the most part, I'm gonna just go ahead and bring his blend all the way up. And it's gonna be all the way up, all the way around. But I'm just gonna do the temp fade just to show you the process of making a fade, all right? So that's one of the things people struggle with. But I don't want you jumping out the gate trying to do a fade. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Go along with what I'm presenting for the sake of getting an even all over cut by either going with the grain or against the grain. All right. So we're gonna do that first. An even all over cut, going with the grain. Now, if you can see, his hair. Let's see if the camera. Y'all got the camera in where you can see everything what I'm doing. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. All right. So we want to get an even cut. So you see how his hair is lighter around the edges like that, kind of like mine. Extremely handsome young man, and when he gets his hair cut like this, he starts feeling himself because he thinks he is fly as his dad, and I'm telling him that there's levels to this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he is just a beginner in the process of being as fly as his dad. It is a process. So, as I was talking about, you're cutting with the grain. So when you cut with the grain, you're cutting off what? Less hair. Alright? So we're just smoothing this out real nice. Cutting with the grain. Smoothing it out real nice. Excuse me. If his hair was heavier than this, I will put a comb attachment on here for this. This is 1/8 of an inch. Put a comb attachment on there. Put the blade all the way in. Remember, you have adjustable clippers. This is all the way in, this is all the way out. When it's in, it cuts more hair. When it's out, it cuts less hair. So, putting it in, if his hair was a little darker, like a wave cut, like if he got waves all the way around, you would put the comb attachment on, and you go on with the grain. Going with the grain. Alright? if the hair was a little thicker, you would put on the next comb attachment or a 2-guard and do the same thing. Go with the grain. Get a smooth cut. Now we're going to do a temp fade. I'm going to show you how to do a temp fade. And the same rule of making a temp fade applies to doing a fade all the way around. Alright? So I'm just doing it for the sake of time. So we're going to put the blade, remember I told you all the way out you cut less hair, all the way out you cut more hair. I mean all the way in you cut more hair. So I got the blade all the way in. That's what I'm going to start off. I'm going to do my first line. Making a fade is about lines. You make a line, you take it out. Shouts out to my boy Ben Butler back on the Gulf Coast who showed me how to do this. I was a young man trying to get myself together. I had been cutting hair. I knew how to do edge ups and lines and beards and stuff like that. But I struggled with doing a fade and he showed me. I went to the barber shop, he pulled me to the side. He did me what I'm doing you right now. Put me on his right side and said, watch, just stand right there and watch me. He showed me it consists of making lines and taking them out. And so the first line right here, y'all see that line I made right there? I'm gonna raise the blade up slightly a bit and I'm gonna take that line out. In the process of me taking that line out, what am I doing? I'm making another line. I made another line. I'm going to raise the blade up a little bit more. I'm going to take that line out. See how I made another line? I'm going to raise the blade up. Line out. See how that fade coming in? Raise the blade up some more. Just slightly a bit. Tad bit. Raise the blade up all the way. Alright, you see how that fade just jumped in there? It goes from dark to light. Alright, now we can make that fade a little bit more sleek and fresh if we take the trimmer. And I encourage people, unless you got the juice, don't do this. You know what I'm saying? You can make that first line, take it to the skin. Alright, and then you turn it back up, use the edge. And you just knock that line out with the edge. Make that fade a little bit more sleek, fresh. Alright, so you see how we got that in there? Alright, now we're going to do the back. Turn the chair. Alright, right there. Okay. The head down. Let's see what the camera is. The camera got a good shot. A little bit more. All right, right there. All right. Now, we're gonna brush that hair down. We're gonna, remember I showed you that adjustable arm When you got it out, you cut more hair off. I mean less hair. When you got it in, you cut more hair. So you take it all the way in, and you're gonna do that first line. See how I did that first line right there? Alright. We're gonna raise the blade up a little bit more. We're gonna take that line out. We're doing a fade, y'all. A temp fade in particular. For those of you that got teenagers and you working on, you want your kids want to still stay fly, have that temp fade. Raise your blade up a little bit more. Take that line out. Remember, you make a line, raise your blade up, and you take that line out. When you're cutting against the grain like that, remember you're cutting more hair. Cutting against the grain, you make sure you brush it back in place so you can see the canvas that you're working with. Alright, you're going to raise your blade up a little bit more. Take that line out. And in the process of taking the line out, what you're going to do? You're going to make a what? Another one. For those of you watching, please go to the tip jar. Leave a tip. If this is helping you, leave a tip. Money sign, LpzCash. That's the letter L, the letter P, the letter Z, C, A, S, H. Please leave a tip. This is helping you. Remember, it's making a line. In the process of making a line, you raise the blade up, you take that line out. That's what's going to create your fade. Raise that blade up a little bit more. See how I'm gradually, slowly but surely moving up. That's how your fade is created. Make that line, raise your blade up, take that line out. In taking that line out, you're going to make another line, alright? So I'm going to raise it all the way up, and I'm going against the grain. Alright? Alright, you see that fade that we created? See that fade we made? But you really can't see it until you throw that edge up on there. So we're going to throw that edge up on the side and the back so you can see it. Working good. Brush it down. Alright, you see? You see that? See that fade we created? See that fade we created? Alright. Remember, for those that are watching, turn it a little bit more. For those that are watching, you may have biracial children. All of these rules that I'm doing, they still apply. The only difference is you're going to use a bigger comb attachment. Same exact rules apply. You're just going to use a bigger comb attachment. Turn it a little bit more, son. Alright. So we're going to edge the front. And edge in the front, remember I told you brush it down. You're going to look, start right here, go this way. So we're going to look at it, and we're going to imagine the line that's already there. We're going to imagine it. And that line that we imagine, we go ahead and make what it is we saw. once we take it to that edge, now we're gonna do this line that goes down. As I told you before, you don't wanna slide it onto the line, you don't wanna slide on there like that, because you're gonna make a cut, you're gonna cut in. So you're gonna tap down and come this way. Tap down and come this way. All right? Alright, now we're going to do what's called a C-cup. You're going to tap it, come down, tap it, come down, tap it, come down, and then we're going to slide. We're using that edge right there. Alright, you see it? Now we're going to do this line behind the ear. Then we're going to brush it down. We're going to hold the clippers this way. And we're going to make that line with the corner of it right there. We're going to hold it down and use the corner to draw that line. We're going to take it up as far as we can get it. Right there. And we're going to turn it over. Alright, we got this little sideburn. Son is only 11, but like his dad, he's growing a lot of hair on his face. We're gonna clean him up a little bit. We're gonna line his little mustache. Such a handsome young man. Alright. And there we have it. We got our edge up. We got our fade. Doing a little temp fade, all right? Got his temp fade. Any questions in particular? Anybody got any questions? Do you cut the hang off, the hangover? Do you cut the hangover off on a biracial child? And the hangover, I don't know what you mean when you say the hangover. I just know. When cutting biracial children's hair, again, you're gonna have to use bigger guide attachments. As of right now, I don't have all my equipment because everything's at the barbershop. But this is the biggest comb attachment that I have right now. And this particular comb attachment, it actually cuts, let me see, 3/16 of an inch, all right? So this is a 1.5, 3/16 of an inch. And so you would if you cutting his hair down, so to speak, you would put your biggest comb attachment on there and you cut it down. But if you can't get a clean, even cut, you would put a bigger comb attachment on there and go against the grain. Go against the grain. With you going against the grain, you're going to get a more even cut. All the way around, go against the grain. And the same rules and that I put together for you to cut this fade right here like this, you would use those rules would still apply, but you would use your comb attachments to start that fade, as opposed to starting with the bare blade. All right. So I need you to turn the chair all the way around, son. Some more. All right, right there, right there. All right. Remember, first we're gonna make a line and take it out. This right here is for the professionals. You gotta know what you're doing to do this now. You take your trimmers and make your first line. You're gonna ball it out and then you turn it around, go against the grain with the edge. Knocking out that first line with the edge. Then we go back. Brush it on down. Remember, if you got the blade all the way in, you're cutting more hair. You got it all the way out, you're cutting less hair. So with us doing a fade, we got the blade all the way in. We're doing the first line with it all the way in as close as you can get it. And after you make that first line, you're gonna raise the blade up slightly. And you're gonna make that next line, and so on and so on and so on. So all right, we got it all the way in. Brush it down, raise the blade up slightly a bit. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Whatever questions you have any questions, please type in your questions right quick, and I'll answer your questions when I get back. Hold on. See what questions you got. You cutting facial hair? Isn't that Josh? Yeah. Oh, sorry. So we're gonna go back to that line. Raise the blade up a little bit more. Take that line out. Remember, you're making lines and you're taking them out. Raise the blade up, take that line out. Raise the blade up, take that line out. This same method that I'm doing applies for you taking that fade all the way around. But this is a temp fade is an easier haircut for you to do than doing a fade all the way around. You brush that down. Put the blade all the way out and go with the grain around this top part, close to his locks. You got the fade with the locks in the top, pull it back. Who else have big hair like that? It's okay. Being like that's a good thing. But remember, there's levels to this. There's levels to this. Fly like this guy right here. There's levels to this, okay? Alright. No. Alright. Now we're gonna go ahead and do that edge up. When you're brushing it down, start in the middle, go that way. Imagine the line that you're gonna make and make it. You're guiding, you're making your line with the corner. You're guiding it, all right? All right, and when you get to the corner, brush that down. And you remember, we don't slide in, you tap it and pull it that way. Because if you slide in, you're gonna cut it. What would be funny is this. Alright, so you're gonna take the corner, you're gonna tap, 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 slide. Tap, 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 slide. And then you can go against the grain and cut the hair, the little straggler hair that's still remaining. For those of you who are watching, thank you so very much for tuning in. I hope this is helping you. Alright. Play this little sideline. Line that up. Alright, we're gonna do his mustache. Alright, now you need to turn all the way. Alright. Brush it down. Please leave the tip in the tip jar. LpzCash, that's the letter L, the letter P, the letter Z, CASH. And if you haven't, go ahead and share this video. So if anybody that needs some help, they can come across your page and they can see this video. They can watch this video tomorrow. And they can get some help with cutting their own hair, cutting their children's hair. All right. So there we have it. We got that fresh fade in there. We got it in there. Fresh fade. It's in there. Clean it up just a little bit more right here. And as you can see, ain't no special tricks, no, I didn't add any color or anything like that. Nothing fancy. You know, some barbers, they can't cut a fresh fade or cut without adding some color or something like that, doing something real jazzy like that, you know what I'm saying? But we making it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? So, any questions? Anybody got any questions? Let me know. And I definitely want to assist you in that question. Let me see. All right, sister said, thanks, fam. No problem, no problem. I got you. You know what I'm saying? Again. So what? Ask me something. Wow. So what? What you gonna ask? Oh my God. Go ahead and ask the question, son.
So, since a tomato is a fruit, does that make ketchup a smoothie? I mean, it makes sense. I mean, think about it. Since a smashed fruit is a smoothie, and a tomato is a fruit, then ketchup is a smoothie. And if light is the fastest thing in the world, then how is dark there first?
You finished, buddy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go and tell your brother to come on. All right. Thank you so very much. I want to give a shout out to my second model for coming out and spending time with us and getting a fresh cut. Thank you so very much for your time, sir. Go ahead and anybody got any questions that they would like to ask? Before we go to our next model. Alright, we got our next model coming. He's going to get, take the last one. He's going to get fade. We're going to do the temp fade again, as we did with our other models. As we get you taken care of, do you have any of your extremely hilarious jokes for the people that you would like to share?
What's a skeleton's favorite snack? Spare ribs. Don't look at me.
Come on, man. Put some thought into it, man. got any more of them great jokes? We're just gonna go ahead and give him an edge up. And then I'm gonna help the fellas out with the beards. All right. Remember, we're gonna disinfect and lubricate our edgers. So we brush the hair all the way down, all the way down on the front and the side. So we're gonna as I told you, you're gonna start that line right here and go that way. You're gonna press it down. You're gonna try to lay the clippers as flat, as parallel to his face as possible. Because if you point them like this, you're gonna cut them. Remember what I told you, whenever you do this line, you're gonna go down and pull back, down and pull back, down and pull back. You don't want to slide into it, because if you slide into it, you're gonna cut it. Alright? So we're gonna make that C cup. We're using the edge of the clipper. We're zooming in a little bit more as we had with the other one. Alright, so you see it better. We're going to take the edge of the trimmer and start that C cup. So we're going to tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it, and slide. We're going to tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it, and slide, slide, slide. See how we got it? Tap it. Tap it, tap it, tap it. And when we get in there with it, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go ahead and line his sideburn. Alright. So we're gonna clean that up on the side. Got this little beard going. Take that off. Got his little chin hair going on right there, so we're just gonna line it up right there. And we're gonna do his mustache. That line across the top of the lip. Turn this way. We've already brushed it down, but just for the sake of the video, I'm gonna brush all the hair down before you do your edge up, right? So you can get a crisp line. Alright, now we're going to take the edge, we're going to tap it, tap it, tap it, and then slide. Alright, just with the edge. If you're just tuning in, I went through the process with 2 other haircuts on how to create a fade. Alright? I'm just doing an edge up with this particular model. I'm just doing an edge up. But when this video is over, you can go back and rewind it back, and you'll see the process that I went through in creating a fade. Alright? Clean him up. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Again, if you got help by this video, please share the video and go to leave a tip in the tip jar. My Cash App. Go to my Cash App. It's LpzCash. That's the letter L, the letter P, the letter Z. Cash, C-A-S-H, LpzCash. Alright? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be showing y'all this. Hold on, pop up some. Alright. So, with that back line, you're brushing it down. You just tapping it like this. Coming on up as far as you can get before you get to that ear. Once you get to that ear, you're going to hold that ear down, turn the clippers upside down like this. Well, right side up, but you're going to hold it like this, and you're going to take this edge, and you're going to draw around the ear, okay? Be real careful with this part, because you don't want to jack it up and you have this big gigantic rainbow around your ear.
Unless you just really like you to practice it, yeah, so wow.
Alright, and we are finished with this particular model. Like I showed you, turn the clippers this way, catch that edge right there, and you're gonna make that line over the ear. Now I'm not gonna front, this is probably one of the hardest areas, the hardest things to do in the edge of it. Go around that ear. Your hand gotta be real steady with that, so that takes practice.
No butterfingers.
Put some alcohol on him. Alright. Thank you, sir. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to help those that Tell them to stay Rona free. All right. For those of you, I'm gonna turn it this way. All right. Y'all that got beards that struggle lining your beard, help you with this. All right. Okay, so now I usually line my beard with a straight razor. This is the reason why my lines are always straight, because I use an actual straight razor. This is kind of tough doing it in my phone like this. But anyway, I'll just show you. I'm not gonna do it. You would take upside down and you would just bam, 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 bam. And then you could turn it this way like that. Go up. Go up, go up, go up. Now I'm letting my this back part grow in, so you know what I'm saying? This is how you would do the back. You pull the skin tight like this, and you would just hold the clippers like this. Tap it, go back. Tap it, go back. Tap it, go back. See what I'm saying? And you wanna make sure you get your line around your lip. Or just tap it around here like that. Like I said, I used to do a straight razor, and it's you know, it looks real funny doing it in my Stop looking at the booger in my nose. So yeah, so anyway, saying all that to say, man, for everybody that tuned in, I gave you a very, 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 very easy process that you'll be able to follow. I showed you how to do a fade, you know what I'm saying, which just consists of making lines, taking it out, making lines, taking it out. Shouts out to my boy back on the Gulf Coast, Ben Butler, who showed me how to do a fade. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to him. But anyway, like I said, man, just for those of you just tuning in, please go back to the beginning of the video whenever it's over. You can go to the beginning of the video and I'll give you a step-by-step. I did two models. I did several types of fades to show you how you can actually cut your children or cut your own hair. So anyway, thank y'all so very much for tuning in. Again, if you did not and you got a lot out of this video, please share the video and send me a tip in my tip jar. And so it's $LpzCash on Cash App. L, the letter L, the letter P, the letter Z, CASH, LpzCash. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so very much for tuning in. I hope you was able to get something out of the video. He said, I missed the fade, bro. Hey, when I'm about to end the live, once after I end the live, you can go ahead and rewind it back and you'll be able to see I did a step-by-step process on how to do a fade, and you'll get all the information you need. So thank you so very much for everybody that made a contribution, that sent the tip. Thank you. I pray that God multiply your seed sown and minister bread for your food in Jesus' name. I love y'all. God bless y'all, and y'all hold it down.